for them. There was nobody else except the priest and the crowd were waiting for them. There was nobody else except two strangers who were standing at the back of the church. The ceremony began, and soon heard the priest come to the point in the wedding where he had to ask,
"Is there any reason why these two people should not be married?"
"There is a reason."
Continue with the ceremony. "I must investigate this first."
"This wedding cannot continue because Mr. Rochester is already married."
"Who are you? And tell me what you know of this supposed wife of mine."
"I'm a lawyer, sir. I have a certificate here proving that you married Mr. Mason in the West Indies 15 years ago."
"That may prove I've been married, but it doesn't prove that she's still alive."
"I can produce a witness who has seen her alive recently."
"Produce him or go to hell." "How are you, Mrs. Paul? And how's your patient today?"
"Madam, sir, but be careful. She will try to bite you if you see you, sir."
"You see, gentlemen, this is my wife. This is the partner I have to live with forever. And instead, I wish to have this young girl. Can you honestly blame me? Compare the two and then judge me."
"I know you weren't aware of this, Miss Eyre. Nobody will blame you, and Mr. Mason will tell your uncle so when he goes back to Madeira."
"My uncle. Do you know him?"
"I'm his lawyer, Mr. Mason, and he have often done business together. On his way back to the West Indies, Mr. Mason stopped in Madeira and stayed with Mr. Eyre, who mentioned that his niece was going to marry a Mr. Rochester."
"Yes, I wrote to tell him I was getting married."
Well, when Mr. Mason explained that Mr. Rochester was already married, your uncle sent him straight back to England to prevent you from marrying and making a terrible mistake. I'm afraid your uncle is very ill and will probably die soon. So I think you had better stay in England until you receive further news of him."
And number one is the last group have already introduced this word. It means serious. And the second, fierce. Do you guys know? Fierce means it's energetic and violent. And the third word is a noun. Marvel. And it's kind of a song, like fiction. Okay?
Yes.
And the word is grow. And this is a verb. And it means animal like sound. Do you guys can pronounce the animal like sound?
You mean like this?
And number five is certificate. Certificate is a noun and is an answering document. Okay. And the last one is phoning, the adjective, and is a schooling that phrase can take short words also phoning.
Sometimes in the afternoon, Jane recovered a little, while she felt sad as she stood up, and realized she had not eaten anything all day. So she opened her bedroom door and almost fell over Mr. Rochester, who was sitting in the chair just outside.
I've been waiting for you all this time, Jane, and I haven't heard you scream or shout or cry. Aren't you angry with me? I never meant to hurt you. Will you ever forgive me? Tell me, Jane. Tell me how weak I am.
Sir, I can't. I feel tired and weak. I want some water.
He took her in his arms and carried her downstairs to the library, where he put her in front of He bent to kiss her, but she turned her face determinedly away.
What? You refuse to kiss me? Because I'm Grandpa Mrs. Huffley, is that it?
Yes, sir.
I know you very well, Jane. I know how firm you are when you've decided something. You are planning to destroy my hope of happiness. You intend to be a stranger to me from now on, and if I'm friendly towards you in future, you will remind yourself that man merely made me his mistress. I must be ice cold to him, and ice cold is what you will be.
It's true, sir, that everything around me has changed, so I must change too. I bet I must have a new governess.
Oh, Adele will go to boarding school. I've already decided that. And you and I will both leave this house. It's narrow spell hell. This house of living death. We can never be happy here. Under the same roof as another woman. Oh, I hate her.
You shouldn't have her, sir. It's not her fault. She's mad, poor thing.
Jill, my darling, it's not because she's mad that I hate her. If you were mad, I would hate you. I will look after you regularly. But why talk of madness? We all already to leave trouble. Everything is packed. Tomorrow we'll leave. I have a place to go to where nobody will find us or talk about us.
And take Adele with you, sir. She'll be a companion for you.
Adele? What do you mean, Jen? She's going to school. I don't want her. I want you with me. Do you understand?
before she said that I will not be yours, and in page 75 she said that she was going, and in page 75 she said that goodbye, my dear master, may God protect you. And the third one. This is the most difficult one and the most nonsense one. What kind of color of the runner Jane was locked in gas head?
Great.
Hi. I'm going to present you about the Victorian era. The Victorian era, the woman in the early 18th Victorian era, when men were young, normally the Victorian society, a woman was to marry early and work in the home, raising children, and organizing the household for her husband. For a woman in the Victorian era, marriage was a big deal. Young women were trained for marriage. They were taught to sing and dance and play an instrument, speaking foreign language. It was like training an animal because they were born. This sounds like they were born to marry. It's quite not fair from my viewpoint. And talking about the marriage, when women were married, they were required to be dutiful wives and have beautiful children, which means they had to make a lot of babies. While her husband was away and worked, the typical Victorian woman was to clean at home, teach her children, have dinner, ready for her husband's arrival. If a woman divorced with her man, it's not very common during the Victorian era if a woman divorced with her husband. If they really divorced, the woman will lose all her rights to her children and lose her property. And talking about social behavior, gender rules were clear and generally followed. The woman was expected to marry at a young age and portray herself as a great individual. They were expected to be very weak and helpless and correct. Her opinion was not to be expressed publicly, so they have to think internally, and they are not allowed to speak out loud. At least not in the presence of men. While many women were internally about the sex treatment, most went alone and behaved innocently and dutifully. Women typically spent their days working around at home, raising their children, eating out like the previous pages I talked about. And the next one, I want to talk about the fashion. Victorian women normally dress like the picture on the TV, and they normally dress very they don't have not less rights as the upper working class woman. So basically, the upper working class woman is the best class in during this era, and the underclass woman is normally just like it's guy, you know, because they're always considered very different for their normally wear towards skirts and blouses, and they even have messy hair. And actually, I'm finished now, but I want to introduce you a very interesting thing during this era. You know, during this Victorian era, they usually have one thing that picture the human and no I have a crisis，我把它照下来。Just like this. It's quite interesting because